Hi everyone, my name is Peter Sesele. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the ways through which you can immigrate to Canada with your family. If you're interested to immigrate to Canada with your family, make sure you watch this video till the very end, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and share this video if you find the content useful. So let's just go straight to the point. There is no need to waste time. So there are basically, I'll be talking about two options today through which you can immigrate to Canada with your family. The first is through the study route as an international student, and then the second option is going to be through the express entry. I'm going to try as much as possible to explain in detail how you can immigrate through these two routes. And then if there are any other questions or something that I haven't addressed, you can leave the question in the comment section. So let's talk about the study route. Let's say you are married and you have kids and you're thinking about immigrating to Canada. Of course, I will call it the easiest option. Okay, I will say the easier option through which you can immigrate to Canada is through the study route. Okay, so the study route means that you're coming to Canada either to do a diploma program, a bachelor's program, a master's program, or a PhD. For the sake of those that are watching the video, I know a lot of you that are planning to immigrate to Canada are already married and probably you already have your bachelor's degree. So doing another bachelor's degree might not be a very good option, right? So you can try applying for a 1-year postgraduate diploma. You can apply for an ordinary 2 years diploma. You can apply for a 2 years research master's, or you can also apply for a 2 years course-based master's, and then you can also apply for PhD. So it depends on what your previous qualifications are and then your experience, right? That will determine what is going to be the best thing for you to apply for. I do have a mentorship program where I can do a one-on-one consultation with you. You can check the link in the description to just know your situation and to help you decide what will be the best program for you. So basically, which means that you have to apply for admission alone, and you have to now apply for visa with or without your spouse, okay, and your children. This is very crucial. I need you to pay very close attention to what I'm about to explain. So if you're applying for visa, you can actually include your spouse and your children while applying for your study permit, right? And if your application for study permit is approved, they are going to give your wife a spousal open work permit, and then you can move with all your family to Canada. But I've done a video on this before, but there are also advantages and there are disadvantages of using this means of applying with your family and adding your wife and your children along. When applying for visa, one of the things that the Canadian visa officers want to be sure of is that at the end of your program, you're going to go back to your home country, right? Which is like home tie. So you need to prove to them that there is enough home tie, that there is something that is going to take you. You need to show them that after your study, you're going to go back to your country, right? So if you apply with your spouse, it kind of means, and your children, it means, oh, this guy is just telling us that he's not coming back after their study, right? So that is the disadvantage of that. I mean, there are people that have applied and everybody got it, but from statistics, I would say about 90% of people that apply to come to Canada through the study route usually apply alone. So they apply alone for their visa, their study permit, and when they now get to Canada, they will not apply for their spouse and their children. So if you apply without them, it's easy to say for home ties. You can easily say, I have my wife and my children back at home. When I'm done studying in Canada, I'm going to go back home to go and meet them. So that is very fantastic home tie, and then you can use some other work, study leave and all that as home tie. So if you get to Canada and you are now registered as an international student, you can then apply for your spouse as a spousal for spousal open work permit, and then you can even include your kids if you want. Maybe they can give them visitors visas, because students for children, they can't give them in a work permit, right? They can come in as visitors, and then if you want to go to school here, there might be some other documentation you have to do with the government, and so in order for them to be able to, maybe your children to be able to study like their elementary school or their high school, depends on how old they are in Canada. And before now, the processing time used to be around 4 to about 5 months. But with COVID, everything with the backlog and everything is really unpredictable now. I've seen people that are waiting for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, actually, as the case may be. But you have to try to apply as early as possible, which means that the moment you are landing in Canada, if I already start processing if you want to start filling the forms and everything, putting things together, start doing, so that the moment you land in Canada, you don't need to wait for 6 months to be able to bring your spouse, right? Immediately, in fact, you can apply the next month, and then you cannot use the ground of, my spouse and my children are in my home country, and then I really need them to be here because I'm lonely and I'm not able to concentrate because they are not here and stuff like that. You can use that, okay? And then when your wife comes, your wife will be able to work full time, okay? And when your wife work full time, now from this study route, you can then proceed to the express entry route, okay? So which means that you now move from studying now to the express entry. Now, a couple of options that are available. If your wife comes in, if you want to apply for the for PRO before you graduate, so there's a way to do it, okay? So when your wife comes in, when your wife is working in a NOC, there is this National Occupation Classification NOC 0A or B. These are basically skilled jobs that require maybe like a bachelor's degree, some of manager position and some, quality control position, scientist position, coordinator position, supervisor position, and then just some of those jobs, right? Apart from others like customer service, they are all NOC C. So you can't really use that. Your wife cannot use that to apply for the express entry, right? So which means that your wife working in that job for, maybe a NOC B job for 1 year, your wife can apply for the Canadian experience class, okay? And then you, as a primary, as the one that brought a spouse, you can also wait, and then you graduate. After you graduate from your study, then you work for 1 year, and then after you work for 1 year, you can apply for the Canadian experience class, okay? Or you can also apply for the provincial nomination, okay? So that is the first route through which you can immigrate to Canada. The second route through which you can immigrate to Canada is called the express entry. This is basically for those that maybe they don't want to school and then they are in their home country, so you can actually immigrate directly. And the most common way you can immigrate to Canada directly is called the Federal Skilled Worker Program. So for these, there are certain requirements and certain jobs and certain language skills that you need to have. For example, you need to be working in a skilled job in your home country in a NOC 0A or B position for at least 1 year. Those jobs may be bank manager, research analyst, just think about, you're working as an engineer, you're working as a food and research scientist. All those are all NOC B jobs. If you don't understand what your job classification is, go to Canada, just type in NOC code, and then you enter the website and I put in the particular job that you are doing. It will tell you if it is a NOC A, O, or B. Okay, according to, I think this is a 2016 NOC classification. Later in 2022, I think they're not going to revise the NOC code and then be using like a different one before. Now I'm just talking about based on what is currently available. So you need to have worked for 1 year at least. the more if you have 2 years of work experience, 3 years, the more the point. So each thing, your age, your work experience, your language skills, your education, all of these play a role in terms of determining what point you're going to have. And then apart from the skill job, you need to write the English proficiency examination. You can either write the IELTS exam, or if CELPIP is available, the CELPIP is also another exam in your country. You can also apply for the CELPIP, but you need to get a band of 7 minimum, okay? And then the language test need to be at least 2. It shouldn't be more than 2 years old. If not, you have to rewrite it again. And then the third requirement is in terms of your education, right? If you have a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, or a PhD in your country, you must, if you want to get points for your education, you have to do what they call the educational credential assessment. So what that means is that you send your transcript and your result to a particular body, and then they review your particular certificate and see if it is equivalent. For example, if you have a bachelor's degree, they are going to see if that bachelor's degree is equivalent to a Canadian bachelor's degree. So you submit your application, and then once they've done the evaluation, they send you the evaluation. So when you're applying for your PRO, you can now put in the educational, the one of the common one you can use is the World Education Service West. You send your transcript and then evaluate and send it back to you. And then once you have your education credentials done, you have your language test done, then the next thing is that you need to create an express entry profile. If you just go to create express entry profile online, you create an express profile, and then you will be in the pool, right? When you are in the pool, which means that they do draws, okay? When they do draws, they usually, till now, they've been using what they call comprehensive ranking score. What that means is that they're going to evaluate all your credentials, everything you submitted, your age, if your spouse wrote the English test as well, what's the educational qualification of your spouse. You can also evaluate both yourself and your spouse. Both of you can write the English test, and then when they do a draw, they're going to give candidates invitation to apply based on the CRS score. For example, if you put in all your details, the computer will automatically calculate your score. Let's assume your score is 460, your CRS score. The next time they do a draw, if the cutoff is 458 and your CRS score is 460, then they are going to give you invitation to apply. When they give you invitation to apply, then it means that all of the things you said, your work experience or language test, you are now going to submit all of these documents, as the application for the permanent residency. When they look at all of the application and everything looks good, then they approve your application, and then they give you the confirmation of permanent residence. And then the next thing now is for you to land in Canada. So in all of this process, you can include your family, okay, in the PR application, so that when the PR is approved, it's now going to be for the whole family. And then you can come to Canada, and then you can land in the province of your choice. Or if you specify the particular program that you want to land, if you want to stick with that, the choice is all yours. If you land in that province and you want to move to another province, the choice is all yours. So that way you are really able to immigrate to Canada. So those are the two options through which you can immigrate to Canada. If you have any specific question, if there is something that I've not addressed in this video, I may have missed something, just leave the question in the comment section, and then when I look at the comments, I will try to answer the comments as soon as possible. If you found this video useful, do well to hit the subscribe button and the like button, so that whenever new videos are released, you will surely be the first person to get notified of my videos. Once again, thank you for watching. My name is Peter Cecile. I will see you in the next video. Thank you.